Hey, in the next 5 minutes, I will show you how to host your own Ollama service with Cognee in 5 simple steps. Step 1. Go to ollama.com and click on the download button. Step 2. Install Ollama on your local machine. Step 3. Choose the models you want to use. You will need a large language model to serve completions and an embedding model to create embeddings from your textual data. Since I only have 18 gigs of RAM, I will use Microsoft's 14 billion parameter 5.4 model, but there is an important note here. Based on our experience, models below 32 billion parameters sometimes are unable to create a proper graph structure, so for the LLM part we suggest to use something like DeepSeek 32B, or if you have the hardware, even the Llama 3.370B model. The bigger model you use, the better graphs you get. So let's pull and set up our two models. To download 5.4, we have to open the terminal and run the Ollama run 5.4 or Ollama pull 5.4 commands. I will use the first one because in this way I'm able to test the model once it's ready. The only thing you have to do now is to wait. Since it's over 9 gigabytes and my internet is definitely not the best, I made it a bit faster for you. Once Ollama finished pulling the model, you should get something like this. At this point, you can even test your local model you pulled with your favorite prompt. Now we have to download the embedding model. As an example, we will use the Mistral model developed by Salesforce. The process is pretty much the same as in the previous example. The only difference is that once Ollama finished the local setup, you can test it by calling the local embedding endpoint instead of just writing your prompt into the terminal. And you should get something like this. To validate whether you have both models pulled, you can also list the models by typing Ollama list. Okay, so now we have our models running on our local computer. Cognee has to know where to access these models. So the next step, step 4, is to set up the environmental variables for Cognee. First of all, we have to specify the LLM API key. In this case, we are just using a dummy key, which is Ollama. Obviously, if you set up your own API key, you have to change this. Second, the LLM model is 5.4 latest in our case. Obviously, as I mentioned, it's better to use at least 32 billion parameter models. And if you use a different model, you can find out the name of your model by using the same Ollama list command I showed you before. LLM provider should be Ollama again, and then LLM endpoint is this. Let's set up the embedding model. The embedding provider should be again Ollama. Then the embedding model is the one we downloaded, but obviously if you are using another model, you should change this. Then the embedding endpoint is localhost API embeddings. It is also important that your embedding dimensions should match with the dimensions of your embedding model. And finally, you also have to set up the corresponding Hugging Face tokenizer that also matches with your embedding model. And finally, step 5 is to run the simple example and test Cognee with your own hosted LLM service. You can find the simple example in the main Cognee repository under Examples Python directory. When running the example, you can monitor the memory usage so that you know that the model is running locally. Obviously, as you can see, I'm killing my computer right now. I'm using almost all the memory I have. Once Cognee finished the simple example, we should get the results. If you want to know more, go to cognee.ai, where you can find the link to our open source GitHub repository. And if you like what you see there, just give us a star. Other than that, if you have any specific question or just want to share your specific use case, you can also join to our Discord channel by clicking the icon on the website. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I think that's all for today, so I guess see you in the next one.